So I got myself a new car. This is 2020 BMW X3 X30i. That's a lot of letters and numbers. It is a dark graphite gray. I originally wanted black, but I'm so happy I chose this color. It's very nice. I live in New York. As you could tell by this gray, gloomy weather, I got this car in Brooklyn from these guys. Pretty convenient and easy process. Let's walk around. It has that convenience package in it with the keyless entry. Let's start with the trunk. A little background. I came from Lexus NX 200, which had a horrible trunk space. This has that kick to open. Actually kick the car, but you don't kick the car. So I am a nurse, specifically a visiting nurse, so I need to have supplies with me. So the trunk space is very important. Don't mind the shoes, I just put them there for now. It did not come with this rubber rug. I had to get that separately. It's not the biggest trunk, but it'll do. All right, enough about the trunk. It's good that it has stuff in there so you could actually see how much you could fit. Let's close this trunk again. Nice. Let's see underneath. It has a nice clearance space. Those are 19-inch tires with the flat runners. They run pretty expensive from what I hear. I'd recommend getting insurance, which is not cheap. Alright, that's the back of the car. I mean, I'm generally in the front seat, never mind the back. Again, I got those rugs separately on the good old eBay. I had this car for about 3 days. The moon panorama roof. Let's sit in the back so you can see. All right. So if you sit in the back, you got plenty of view. By the way, I'm recording this in 4K, 30 frames per second. All right. All right. So I have the BMW LED. These are just beautiful. A bunch of other people say this is automatic. It opens and closes when the engine is hot. A little smart technology there. As you can see, mine are closed now. Guess the car is cold. It is kind of cold today. All right. Let's get inside the car. I'm 5'9", and this has plenty of space for me. All right. Let's start the car. So let me start with one negative. You see that kilometer there? 0 kilometer? I change this every single day to miles. And every time I turn off the car and come back to it, turn it on, it's back to the kilometers. I don't know if it's a bug in the system, but that's annoying. This is the Apple CarPlay. As you can see, the time is on top. This is a beautiful, beautiful display. Very HD comparing to what I had in the Lexus. And I was being given really good deal on the Lexus RX, but I knew that I wanted BMW because it seems like it's more futuristic, and you know, in person you could tell this car is worth money. So automatic set sitting positions, those are the controls for windows, mirror, opening the trunk. I wish this was more on the left side, because generally I drive holding it with my left hand, even though I am not a lefty. So I generally have to switch my hand and have to do things over here. Let me back out. I'm recording this on the iPhone 11X Pro Max. Yeah, here you go. All right. This glove compartment. This is the smallest glove compartment I ever had. Let me zoom in. There you go. It's extremely small. I tried to put a folder yesterday in it and didn't fit. But it's nice that it has lighting in there. My previous Lexus didn't. All right, so let's talk about the driving experience. You have the Eco Pro, Comfort, and Sport. This is so when you stop at the red light and you brake, you could take your leg off the brake pedal because it'll hold it. But I also have the engine off when I'm stopped. So if the engine is off and you have this on, which you could do automatic over here, it is a slower kick in. And in New York, we're pretty aggressive drivers, so you're gonna have people honking in the back of you, making sure that you move your behind so that way they're driving quick. Also, another negative thing, you have to select these modes every time you get in the car. Every time. It's not automatic. Like right now, this is basically what you always start the car onto, right? So if I go here, it becomes Eco, and then it goes back to this, which you could configure, and I did configure it by making the steering wheel into the sport mode. So this is the Comfort, which is basically this, and I would say, to me, this is in between Eco and Sport. As you saw, it's say balanced over there. Okay, and then this is the Sport. Then you could basically change to standard, to plus, individual. All right. Oh, this is a 4-cylinder. Let me tell you, it doesn't feel like a 4-cylinder. And overall, I've had my Lexus was 4-cylinder. It was also turbo engine, and it was a pretty fast car, pretty fast. All right, let's talk about the infotainment system. It is pretty complicated. It does take learning curve to understand the system. So this is the CarPlay, and then you have the media. This is the phone. Now, if you are using a CarPlay system, this, you can't use this. When you go into it, it'll tell you to go into, so let's see if I go into recent. It'll tell you have to go to CarPlay to be able to use this. Let's see. This is your vehicle information. This is where you make a lot of, you know, changes to your car. So if I go into iDrive settings, and then over here, I go to the units. This is where I could change this kilometer to miles, which I do every single time I get into this car. And as you can see on this side, it says miles. All right. This is where you do your display, daytime, mobile devices. The tone is where you set up your sound. Sound is actually very nice in this car. There's no point of me playing it right now. First, for copyright reasons. Second, you won't be able to tell the difference in sound based on what you're watching this video from. And then all the other stuff. I do have ability to open and close and do a bunch of other stuff with this car through the app that it comes with. And it would be like this connected drive, so you connect it through there. It does have navigation system, although I do not plan using it. I did use it once, but based on what we have, like in the CarPlay, if I go into Waze, you know, it tells me where the cops are, or cameras, traffic light, and all that. I could use Google Maps or Apple Maps. I never use Apple Maps whatsoever. But it's pretty easy. If you want to make a phone call, you just click over here. You can use the, you know, the cursor right here to make changes. As you can see, it does. It's a dual display. So over here, you could choose what you want to display. Generally, if I'll have, let's say, the map on this side, I'll have like clock always displaying here. So let's look at the back camera, which at first I was like, wow, this is very fish eye looking camera, but it's pretty clear. And there are the sensors over here. As you see, I'm turning the wheel, and this line over here is turning too. I'm turning it again, and it basically tells you if you're aligned or if you're turning somewhere. I'm not gonna drive for safety reasons, but now my car is in park mode, and this camera will display. You could actually drive with this camera on. I don't know how to have that set while you're driving, but this is pretty cool. The only reason why I decided to record this video is because whatever I'm trying to look on YouTube, all you see is the M models or the M40i. But not everybody needs that extra power. And also, this is the 4-cylinder. I do not need a 6-cylinder, especially in New York. Let me go back to comfort. Now it's back to red. I am very happy that I got this car. Absolutely.